if we want better buildings for dying, then we have to talk about it. But because we find the subject of death uncomfortable, we don't talk about it, and we don't question how we as a society approach death. One of the things that surprised me most in my research, though, is how changeable attitudes actually are. People are actually really open to changing things if they're given the chance to talk about them. We wanted to show that where we die is a key part of how we die. We had people dancing and running and jumping as they tried to activate the exhibits in different ways. And at a certain point they would kind of stop and remember that they were in an exhibition about death and that maybe that's not how you're supposed to act. But actually, I would question whether there is one way that you're supposed to act around death. And if there's not, I'd ask you to think about what you think a good death is, and what you think that architecture that supports a good death might be like.
Everything in nature had an ensouling intelligence, whether it was a planet or a cloud or a vegetable, and I was to attune to and harmonize with the essence of that intelligence. I think the outer form of anything is an indication of the inner essence. I knew all about the outer form of a garden pea, the shape of the leaves and the stem, the color and the smell of the flower and the taste. So what was the essence of all? What was a pearl of all that into one? And it wished that human beings would go about their way with similar awareness, because we were all great beings of light and we weren't using our capabilities. And I think in that very first message, it was really what nature is still trying to tell us humans, that we are great beings